Hello, my name's Peter Anthony and I'm the General Manager here at Lytham Hall. Well, what a year it's been. Well, normally here at Lytham Hall during February we have one of the largest snowdrop collections in the northwest. Sadly this year we can't let you in to see them because of obvious reasons, but we wanted to do a little video and I'm going to hand you over to John Hornyak, who is our lead grounds volunteer, very knowledgeable chap, and he's going to take you a little tour of the snowdrops here at Lytham Hall. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, all I can say is thanks very much to Peter Anthony for that introduction, but this is going to be about snowdrops because we're in the snowdrop walk time. You might notice that behind me, by the way, is something that I am very fond of. It's one of the 3 favourite trees of all. As many of you know, my main specialism is trees, and this is an absolute beauty. But really, let's think about the whole parkland and let's think about these snowdrops that we're going to look at in detail. So many of you are missing them, we're going to make sure you don't. Hello everybody, well this is really our first look at the snowdrops at Lytham Hall. Of course, the beauty that we see here is unfortunately one that you can't see where you are at the moment, but will. And these snowdrops stand for hope. Hope is what they are actually known as, the flowers of hope. And they've made it this year and they'll make it every year. Perfect. Right, well, here we are at one of the largest populations of snowdrops at Lytham Hall. And there's something very special about this population, because the numbers, with the work we did with BAE Systems, we have now scientifically estimated that we've over 9 million snowdrops at Lytham Hall in this one area alone. So we're talking of probably 3 times that number in the whole of the 78 acres. And the beauty of snowdrops, and by the way, people who really like snowdrops, which is the Latin name is Galanthus nivalis, those people are called galanthophiles. They're basically like train spotters. They love them, all the different varieties. And here we have got some different varieties. My personal favourite is the simple single one. But let's have a closer look at these. And here, if you look very carefully, they're a much larger and fatter bud. And inside there they are. They're double snowdrops. Now the thing about double snowdrops is that a lot of the parts of the flower have been modified. So the anthers, where the pollen's produced, becomes a false petal. As I say, some people love these. I prefer the purity of the singles. But look across there, 9 million snowdrops. Tough. You've seen the photographs of the ice on them. They've grown through snow. They've been in flood, drought, and they're absolutely in their element. Beautiful, fabulous sign of spring. Now, something that's very interesting here is I've had a lot of people, when they've been looking at the photographs, saying, we really miss the snowdrops and they're all there and they're going to be over. No way are they going to be over for a long time yet. An awful lot came up all at once because we had that rainfall. And relatively, sounds funny, relatively that rain was warm. It warmed all the soil up and we had a huge flush of growth and flowers. Now with the cold weather, everything has stopped. So we've basically got a full show of all the doubles, and look what's coming. We have weeks and weeks of pleasure to come with all these new ones. And here are the doubles again, and miles and miles and hundreds of thousands, literally millions, showing themselves off. And we'll be looking at these for weeks to come. Absolutely splendid. Hope, snowdrop, And don't forget, we'll soon be following those with the wild daffodils and later, hopefully, the bluebells. The best year we've ever had. Right, well, I've come into the woods now. This is probably one of the most spectacular areas in terms of new development at Lytham Hall. We call it the nature walk or the nature path. And here we've got snowdrops in their thousands again, doing really well now that we've cleared all the rhododendron, we've transplanted, and they're doing really, really well. We're trying to develop, and we hope soon we will, a new mental health initiative called Forest Bathing, where people can come and relax in the peace, the quiet, and the ambience of where the snowdrops themselves, of course, have chosen to be, at peace and producing a show like this. And just look at the potential through here, that gorgeous light. Imagine this being a silent space. No radios, no mobiles, no chattering, peace, and the beautiful smell of the woodland, which has been proven to actually quieten the mind and improve our mental well-being. A fabulous area. And of course the grounds, people often say, well, what do we need to grow snowdrops? Well, you need well-drained but quite rich soil, and we've both. We've got a sandy soil, we've got this beautiful humus and the woodland, and we've got very, very happy snowdrops. Not easy to grow from scratch, but once they like it, they'll keep on propagating, and these are wonderful, wonderful flowers. Okay, now you might wonder why I've taken the trouble to actually get down on my hands and knees. It's not because I'm overcome with emotion, although to be frank, I nearly am, because these are my personal favourite snowdrops. These are the singles. I was talking about the doubles before. There's just something pure and perfect about these. And look at the numbers. These are a plant in their happy place. These are the plants that are growing so well. And when I say their happy place, there's again scientific evidence that snowdrops and lots of other plants actually live symbiotically with lots of fungi and microorganisms under the ground, and they will grow very well as long as they have those. These are growing well, they're obviously happy. There is a concept, I refer to it as the Dracula effect. People say, oh well, I've tried to transplant them and they die. Well, a bit like the Dracula story, take some of the soil with them, and when you transplant them into that so-called ideal, well-drained, nice humus-rich soil, you then give them a better chance because you're taking everything with them. The soil is a living organism of its own. And these, if we transplant them later, which we will be doing in the green, in other words, before they've died down again, when we transplant them, we'll take a nice chunk of soil. So they're going to a new place and they're taking their soil with them. Absolutely fabulous. How can anybody not be moved by a picture like this? And Lytham Hall is getting a bigger picture year after year after year after year. We're probably going to hit the 25 million this year. We're going to transplant more, we're going to sow seeds, we're going to divide the bulbs, and it's worth it. And you will be coming to see these year after year, and we'll make sure you see them and they're looked after. Thank you so much for your interest. I'll leave it to them. Now you might wonder why I'm sitting here on the side of the mount in amongst all this undergrowth, and where have all these snowdrops come from? Have they already been here for years anyway? The answer is not really, no. These were all with the soil that we brought in to repair the damage to the mount 7 years ago. And we had bulldozers, we had Hymax, we had mini diggers, all bringing the soil from down by the hall that you've just seen, all the way up here to repair the collapsed part that was pure sand. Snowdrops would never have grown. They brought the soil, they brought the snowdrops, they brought the seeds, they brought the little bugs and all the microorganisms, and you'll see that they might look as though they're individuals, but they're slowly producing clumps. Here's a little clump, and there are various ones. And eventually the whole of this area will become a sheet of fabulous snowdrops. And suddenly, where this soil ends, there's nothing at all. And this is snowdrops in their happy place, as I mentioned once before. And we can do this artificially, or we can do it, in this case, by accident. But it's a question of being careful when you think about transplanting them. Most beautiful thing. And of course, Lytham Hall has always been known for its snowdrops. My golly, it's going to be known for them in the future, because we're doubling, trebling, and if I've anything to do with it, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wonderful.
Hello, I hope you've enjoyed our trip round the snowdrops this year. Really sorry that you all couldn't get here in person to see them, but I'm sure you'll agree they're looking absolutely fabulous. Just want to say a huge thank you to John Hornyak for all his expertise on the fabulous and beautiful snowdrops we've got here at Lytham Hall, and also a massive thank you to Phil Downey and Yolanda for their wonderful photography skills. I'm sure you'll agree. I really hope you've enjoyed this trip around the snowdrops at Lytham Hall this year, and hopefully we'll see you all very soon.